Just got back from Astronomicon. You know, normally we put together a nice little video, kind of give you the all-around experience of the con, but sadly it was virtually impossible to film anything. I tried several times to get into the vendors and, you know, kind of show you what's going on, but every time I did, somebody would bump my arm and the footage would just go whoo, and just get all messed up. So I decided, instead of filming something, I'd sit down and tell you my thoughts on the con. First off, still a really good con. The Comic-Con Horror Con mix is great. It's fantastic. It definitely caters to people like me who don't just love comic books but also love horror movies. We can't ever get that both of those vibes together. So Astronomicon, doing what it does and how it does it is fantastic. Especially the vendors and the unique vendors at that. Jeff got a bunch of like really cool kind of unique stuff. He got a NES Jason Voorhees pen, which was fantastic. I am ultimately jealous of him. It was a bummer in the general sense of the factor that you almost couldn't move. Like, you were packed in there so tight as sardines. Like I said, like, you couldn't get into like the vendor areas, or you couldn't get into the booth. And every time I'd go and try to get a shot of some unique, cool, like knickknacks or something of that matter, someone would come along, bump my arm, the shot would be ruined. So it's a bummer. Like, it's a complete bummer when the con is so packed and it's so early in the day that it's almost impossible to walk around and look for things that you want. We spent probably a few hours there and we kind of called it quits. But like I said, I mean, this isn't any like not common thing. It's a very common thing with Comic-Cons, is the factor that they run out of room. So you have to go to another spot, expand more, invite more vendors, which, you know, in the business side of things, like it costs more to do that. Yeah, it sucks. But in 3 short years, this Comic-Con, Astronomicon, has grown exponentially to the point where it has already outgrown its original spot. And that's a good thing. A pop culture event of this nature outgrowing its original spot, that's not bad at all. But it's bad if you don't grow with that growth. So, guys over at Astronomicon, you have to expand. You got to. It's a must. I know I'm not the only one, and if you have the same feelings or different feelings, feel free to sound off down in the comments below. But being packed in like a sardine, trying to look at action figures or find like that grail piece at a con, and you're doing that while shoulder to shoulder with other people, you're staying for maybe an hour or 2 hours, and that keeps going on and on. Fans will feel alienated. We did find some cool stuff. We met up with friends. We stopped by the Three Wise Men's booth, the Nine Planets booth, and Throne of Toys, said what's up, talked a little bit, seen the sights, talked to Ghostbusters Detroit a little bit, but obviously they were busy because, you know, they're a hit. John got to, you know, join Cobra again this year. There was a giant Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, which was awesome. John also got to hang out with Audrey 2. Ruth, I'd be careful.
Is this your new girlfriend, John?
Yes. Don't tell Ruth.
He was kind of all bubbly-eyed when he was around Audrey. But for us to do what we do and go out and like kind of shoot this vlog style view of these Comic-Cons, when it all goes downhill, it's a bummer, because we feel like we bring this kind of atmosphere to somebody that doesn't maybe get to go. And it wasn't even like the busy day. Like Sunday, it was gonna be the busy day. Like, that's when Alexa Bliss was there. I can just picture like many more people being at that con that day than today. So I would say, in closing, that the greatest downfall of the con was the factor that it has outgrown its spot. There's just not enough room. You know, there's two ways to go about this. You upgrade your spot, you go to a bigger area, and then you get more vendors and more attractions, you know, or, you know, I don't need, is that the right word? Attractions? I don't know. Anyways, you get more and you build out that space, or you stay in the one spot, condense your vendors even more, condense your artists even more, and then it's gonna go sideways. I mean, I was already talking with some of the artists this weekend, and they said they were cramped up. I wanted to do a couple interviews with said artists, but I couldn't even like get to their tape. I couldn't even set up a tripod or anything in the walkway without severely just cutting off the flow of traffic. I mean, so I'm not talking bad. I just want to clear that up. It's just that was the only downfall, and every Comic-Con is guilty of this, is the factor that the room is not adequate at some points. If the attendance is there, you should upgrade to a bigger spot, because it's inevitable when something this popular comes along and it's this booming. You're not gonna stuff it all into one area. I want to see Astronomicon grow as big as like Motor City Comic Con, New York Comic Con, C2E2, all those big cons. I want this type of thing to grow like that. I would love to see a horror con / Comic Con get so big that it's sitting at Kobo. That would be fantastic. That would blow my mind. I'd be so happy for those guys. But you have to grow with your growth. With that being said, good con nonetheless. Great selection. Great vendors. I would go again. Maybe not with my camera, but I would go again. If you haven't yet, go check out Astronomicon. Go next year. If this video is out in time, go Sunday. Just go check it out, because the uniqueness of this Comic-Con is something to be seen. So as always, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you're notified every time we drop a video over here on the channel, from our toy reviews to the random toy hunts to anything else we choose to drop, comic book or pop culture oriented. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.